Hell hath no fury like the woke left finding a new celebrity to cancel. And that's what it's come to, because now I guess they've canceled so many people, they've started canceling each other. Maybe we should just sit back and let them do that for a while. It just seems like they start cannibalizing themselves. Just ask Beyoncé. Here's the real story of why Beyoncé's so-called fans are screaming bloody murder about their once-loved Queen Bee. Here are some headlines. Fans called to cancel Beyoncé after she wore an insulting shirt on stage. So offensive. Beyoncé's shirt sparks backlash. Here's the lesson for marketers. Beyoncé accused of military propaganda. So what set off the firestorm? Beyoncé, one of the most celebrated artists in the world, wore a Buffalo Soldier t-shirt while performing in Paris. In the blink of an eye, her biggest fans took to X and Insta demanding she be canceled. Cancel her over a t-shirt. Why? Well, what's wrong with Buffalo Soldiers? Well, Buffalo Soldiers were black soldiers in the U.S. Army after the Civil War. They helped settle the American West and were known for their bravery. Sound good so far, right? Beyoncé wore the shirt. I don't know if she picked it. I don't know if she's a big advocate. I don't know if somebody just gave it to her as part of her wardrobe. Who knows? But history isn't always pretty. As part of the U.S. Army, Buffalo Soldiers fought Native American tribes who were pushed off their land. Uh-oh, hiccup. You could certainly tell two sides of that story. Also, Buffalo Soldier regiments were commanded by whites and often faced extreme racial prejudice. So what's the t-shirt fallout? Within hours, social media was flooded with posts from fans hurt, confused, angry at Beyoncé. Here's some of what was posted. Cancel Beyoncé. This trended on X and other platforms. Users denounced the shirt as historically insensitive and offensive to indigenous communities. One user said, selling merch that calls indigenous people enemies of peace is just wrong. Someone should have vetted that. That was a quote on the back of the shirt, enemies of peace. And maybe they're right. Maybe someone should have vetted that. Some called for her to apologize. Others said they would never listen to her music again. I bet that's a lie.
You liar!
Did anyone stop to think that what Beyoncé meant by wearing that shirt was something different? Did anybody consider her intentions? Did anybody think, hey, maybe she wasn't thinking? Or maybe she interpreted it a different way? Look, before lashing out, does it ever occur to anybody? Let's look at the entirety of the situation. You've heard me talk before about, hey, maybe we need a counsel culture, not a cancel culture. Maybe you look at it in the big picture. Like, consider Beyoncé's lifetime commitment to social justice. Now look, I'm not a big Beyoncé fan. I think I may have met her once. I'm not sure. But I don't particularly listen to a lot of her music. Some of it's great, some of it's not. She seems like a very nice person to me. But again, I don't particularly know her. But what would happen if instead of cancel her, never listen to her music again, horrible? What if the approach instead was, hey, Beyoncé, don't know if you know this or have thought about this, but there are a lot of us that find that message hurtful, and we really see you as someone that messages for us. You might want to rethink that. Or can you tell us what your thinking was? Or here's my 2 cents worth. You might consider this. I mean, let's look at her overall history. Her album Lemonade focused on Black womanhood, empowerment, resilience. Her 2016 Super Bowl halftime performance with Coldplay and Bruno Mars paid tribute to the Black Panthers and Malcolm X. Bay Good, her philanthropic foundation, gives scholarships, internships, financial assistance to marginalized communities. She co-founded the Survivor Foundation to fund houses for Hurricane Katrina victims. She built housing for the homeless in Houston, gave millions to keep it running, quietly supported local shelters. She heavily advocates for women and girls. So it's like if you're watching a movie and you freeze frame it in the middle of the movie and you lifted something out of context without seeing the whole movie, you could misjudge the whole thing. Shouldn't she deserve the benefit of the doubt? Well, it seems not. Social media reacts, canceled. Big, bold, canceled. That shirt is so wrong. The Buffalo Soldiers were foot soldiers of colonization. Beyoncé using her platform to glorify them isn't just ignorant, it's embarrassing. Not every piece of Black history is honorable just because it's Black. That's a quote. Not everything in Black history needs to be turned into a fashion statement. Well, that's probably right. But this is a woman that has spent so much energy in her life and millions of dollars doing good for thousands and thousands of people, and one t-shirt, and they want to cancel her? At least one fan caught herself going down the radical rabbit hole before seeing sense. Let's call her Jessica. She said, I've loved Beyoncé since I was a kid. She's always stood for empowerment, justice. When I saw her in that shirt, I felt like she was disrespecting history. We all said we were done with her. But now, looking back, I wonder if I overreacted. Well, Jessica, you're not alone. Social media makes it easy to react first and think later. You just type, hit send. Beyoncé's just the latest in a long line of celebs to be called out. Look at this graph of canceled celebs losing followers. Lizzo topped the most canceled list, seeing her followers dwindle by 6.7%, or 84,298 people. Why? Backup dancers accused her of sexual harassment and weight shaming. Why? Because she lost some weight. That was part of it. These are just accusations, which Lizzo called false and outrageous. On her Instagram, she said, my character is being picked apart by people who don't know me and disrespecting my name. I didn't sign up for this shit. I quit. Bottom line, it's not just about Beyoncé or a t-shirt. People are quick to cancel. Careers ruined, reputations destroyed, relationships lost. It's not any way to handle disagreements. You want to cancel all the good Beyoncé does over a t-shirt? Come on, we're human. Maybe she screwed up, I don't know. Maybe it's a misunderstanding. Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. Maybe this is a time to learn. But if cancel culture with keyboard bullies keeps running the show, we're going to lose more than people. We lose perspective, we lose empathy, we lose common sense, and that is dangerous. Be somebody that uses critical thinking. Be somebody that has the courage. If you're going to say something, why don't you ask first? Wouldn't it be interesting if you wrote a question to Beyoncé and she answered and said, hey, good point. I didn't know all of that, and I'm on tour and it feels like rolling backwards down a hill. I need to pay more attention to the slogans they put on me. My bad. Thanks for pointing it out. Love you. How would you feel if that was a response? What if the response was, I focus on their bravery and courage. And not everything that happened was good, but these were still brave soldiers. Maybe you could disagree, but at least you have a dialogue. You don't have a dialogue if it's just, hey, you made a mistake, gotcha. That's no way to go. That's the real story. Wherever you're getting the real story, make sure you subscribe and follow. I'll see you tomorrow. Hey, Dr. Phil here. My network, Merit TV, has it all.
Now, let me blow your mind.
Merit TV's got the news that matters.
The selection of a new pope.
Entertainment you crave.
Busted.
Everybody in a good mood today?
And live events.
Surprise.
What am I, chopped liver?
With serious punch.
Big shot.
Go to merittv.com and download the Merit TV app today.
War in Iran is rattling global markets. Oil's surging, inflation looms, and economic uncertainty threatens your savings. If Iran blocks the Strait of Hormuz, prices could soar and your money could lose value fast. So don't wait and hope. I trust Preserve Gold to help protect my wealth, and it's the only precious metals firm I recommend to family, friends, and you. Their integrity and expertise give me peace of mind. Secure what you've earned now with a partner you can trust. Text Dr. Phil to 50505 to get your free precious metals guide from Preserve Gold. Gold prices are already breaking records, and with analysts predicting more gains ahead, you cannot afford to wait. As a bonus, you can get up to $15,000 in free silver with a qualified purchase. Text Dr. Phil to 50505 now before the next shock hits.